Hey everyone, it's time to talk about one of the most daunting books that exists, War and Peace. I recently made the decision to jump in. I only have two more books left to read on the cloth-bound list. It's War and Peace and it is Jabberwocky. A few of the ones that haven't been released yet I haven't finished. There's a James Baldwin that was just announced that I'm really excited for. But I only have two that are in my possession that I haven't read. And I was saving War and Peace for the last one. So, I mean, you can kind of see why. This version actually is 1,397 pages. This version that I'm using as a reading copy because I want to preserve this guy. I don't want it to get scuffed up. It's more of a trophy than anything. This version that I'm reading has very small text and it's about 970 pages. So it's dense. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what the challenges are and how I'm overcoming them in starting to read War and Peace. The first thing to know, just to get yourself kind of rooted in the story, is that it takes place in the early 1800s in Russia. You're going to travel between a few different families, see how they interact. There's a lot of characters. Evidently, there are more than 500 characters that appear in the story, but there are a few main ones that you need to know. I'm not going to tell you who they are. I am going to give you a resource, though. Liberty India Rose. She is fantastic. She's got a YouTube channel. She's at Liberty India Rose on Instagram, and she's got a great walkthrough of the main characters, the recurring characters. She's going to give you kind of a level of importance for each one, and just a little bit about who they are, and that will really help you to get established in the story. I found it really helpful just to get to know who's who. There are a lot of names. You get dropped into a party. That's the first scene with a number of characters. It could be a little bit overwhelming. That really helped me to kind of understand what was happening and who do I need to care about. You know, when you have such a long list of characters, the question is, who should I focus on? And she's going to let you know. If you are reading the cloth-bound version, we've got a character list in the back as well. It's going to be broken into different families. It's on page 1372. That will give you a sense of who these people are. It's also got the historical figures that take part in this fiction. People like Alexander I, people like Napoleon, Karl Marie von Clausewitz. Lots of interesting characters. That's going to let you know who everybody is and how they're kind of sorted. One of the tricks that I found has worked very well with longer books like The Count of Monte Cristo. I think that's the longest book I've read to this point. It's right around 1,300 pages. With Les Miserables, is to use audiobooks also to kind of supplement your physical reading. So you might be a morning or an evening reader in a physical capacity, but if you want to go for a walk, I've been doing a lot of that. Throw the book in, pick up where you left off on the physical copy. And because these works are in the public domain, it's really easy to find free versions. There's one, it's Dano's Archive 2 on YouTube. It's the same translation as my Wordsworth Classic, so I've been using that when I go for a walk just to kind of stay with the characters, and it helps to really move things along. I think it's also valuable to understand a little bit about Napoleon, the Napoleonic Wars, so that you know what's going on. My sense is that we're going to get pretty deep with some of these characters. A lot of them are involved or adjacent to the military. There's a lot of conversations about the revolution in France. There's a great podcast called The Age of Napoleon that has maybe too many episodes. It's very in-depth. I listened to a bunch of those a couple of years ago just to get a sense about Napoleon and what he was trying to accomplish and his rise. It's funny, in the first chapters, they pronounce his name in the book Buonaparte, and that's kind of drawing on the fact that Napoleon wasn't actually French, he was Corsican. So little things like that will really help you to understand the story. And the final point is simply that chapter summaries are your friend. Use Cliff Notes. They've got them broken up. The first one is chapter 1 to 6, and then 7 to 21. And they'll give you a little sense of just broadly what's happening. You might be a little bit overwhelmed at first, and that can help you to get your footing and kind of build a foundation to go forward. Just have somebody else tell you what happened and compare it to what you thought happened. There's a lot of times that I feel like I'm kind of understanding what's going on, but there are things that I'm missing. I like to circle back and look at a chapter summary at one point and just kind of see how I'm doing. Happy reading, everybody. Wish me luck. 1,250 pages to go.